Tonight on 16 by 9.
It may look harmless, but is your water safe to drink?
I have arthritic symptoms that started shortly after the water that create tremendous pain in my hands.
We treat our water both as a source of drinking water and a place to put our waste.
Are you feeling the pressure to be on Twitter, Flickr, and Facebook? Do you know what they do? Is technology dividing the population?
Now, how do you spell Twitter?
How would you feel living without technology?
Probably panic-stricken.
It's one of YouTube's most watched videos, Remembering a Lion's Love.
It's just extraordinary that people are loving and talking about Christian 40 years later. It is about unconditional love. It's got the ingredients of a love story.
That's all coming up on 16 by 9.
Please don't touch the camera, that's assault. Talk to us about this.
I don't need to talk to you.
Can you, how do you, oh,
I'm sorry. Okay, stand by, Mary. Water woes in 3, 2.
Good evening and welcome to 16 by 9, the bigger picture. I'm Mary Garofalo. When you pour yourself a glass of water, you don't expect to be drinking medical waste or cancer-causing contaminants, but you might very well be. It's a disturbing discovery, and it's got our federal government involved. Our Alex Mihaljevic with tonight's 16 by 9 investigation.
All these people died because they drank a glass of water. And this community has cried buckets of tears, young and old, rich and poor. What happened to these people did not discriminate. It was a tragedy like no other in Canadian history. A tragedy that remains fresh in Walkerton resident Bruce Davidson's mind.
At the time, it was like we had had some storm come through the community, and the buildings were standing, but the people were flattened.
In the spring of 2000, during a heavy rainfall, manure was swept from this field into this direction towards Well 5. This was the beginning of the Walkerton crisis. 7 people died and thousands were sent to the hospital. A poisonous cocktail of bacteria, including E. coli and Salmonella, devastated this community. And to this day, many are still sick from the tainted water they drank nearly 10 years ago.
I have arthritic symptoms that started shortly after the water that create tremendous pain in my hands and in my hips, and virtually have wiped out my profession as a massage therapist.
And fast forward 10 years later, what have we learned from Walkerton, and how safe is our drinking water? Well, it's going to shock you. That's right. According to Elaine McDonald with Eco Justice Canada, we have drugs in our water, and they're getting through our treatment plants and into our homes and bodies. Toronto nutritionist Katrina Kulhe breaks it down.
Every time a woman takes a birth control pill, or a man takes a supplement or medication, they pee it out into our toilets and into Lake Ontario.
So now you're thinking, well, my water's chlorinated, I have nothing to worry about. Well, think again. Chlorine in your drinking water creates another danger that has scientists up in arms and Health Canada proposing sweeping new tests at 60 water treatment plants across the country. 34 of the tests will be taking place this year. Dr. Sad Jasm of the Walkerton Clean Water Centre explains.
The organics that is dissolved in the source water, when you add chlorine to it, it produces disinfectant byproducts like trihalomethanes, and those are considered as carcinogens.
In other words, studies show trihalomethanes caused by the chlorine mix are linked to cancer. But at the same time, chlorine virtually eliminates every waterborne disease because it kills microorganisms found in water.
We treat our water both as a source of drinking water and a place to put our waste.
Meet Professor Miriam Diamond, an environmental scientist from the University of Toronto. She's all for chlorine.
I'm really happy that it's chlorinated because I have confidence then that the water is going to be clean and safe for me to drink.
All of our experts agree. Tap water is the best choice out there.
I don't drink bottled water because it's completely unsustainable, and I will not pay thousands times more for bottled water than I can get water out of the tap.
And the consensus between our scientific minds is making a splash with politicians, including Jack Layton, the leader of the federal New Democrats.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. We should have more water fountains around. I mean, that's water that's tested every few hours. The bottled water, we don't even know if it's tested, and the tests aren't made public by the companies that produce it.
The majority of consumers are deciding with their dollars that they want an alternate to tap water.
Peter Butzel is the Vice President of the Canadian Water Quality Association, as well as the VP of Nimbus Water Systems.
They want to make sure the pharmaceuticals, heavy metals, chlorine byproducts have been removed from the water.
There are a few filtration options you can look at. This is a point-of-entry system that filters every drop of water that comes into your home. Then you have the under-the-counter variety, the on-the-tap filter, and the self-standing filtered water cooler systems. You also want to consider the technology being used to clean your water. What were you saying that was very interesting is that there is no silver bullet.
Exactly. There is no one treatment can deal with everything. That's why the knowledge is needed. For example, you need to start with what is your source water quality. Based on that, the treatment will be dictated based on that.
Public concern about water has forced municipalities across the country to take action. Here's the Mayor of Toronto, David Miller.
Canadians need to know that municipal tap water meets the highest standards in the world. We're tested literally over 70,000 times a year.
All of what you heard is reason for Health Canada to push forward with new tests. But even with all the testing, the people of Walkerton will always think twice when they reach for a glass of water.
The restoration of confidence is not an easy thing. Confidence is difficult to gain, trust is difficult to gain, but it's so easy to lose. And yeah, there are people in the community. I spoke to one gentleman who told me a number of years later, I asked him how he was doing, and he said he was still struggling with it. When he got the glass of water close to his mouth, his hand would begin to shake very violently, and he couldn't do it.
Next on 16 by 9.
I definitely feel pressure to always be on the know of what's going to be next.
I thought sending email would be challenging enough for the day.
If you have a story for 16 by 9, call our tip line